All right. Oh, voila. Okay, so that worked well. Cool. Well, welcome to the first affluent marketing live streams. Glad that you're here. If you are here, glad that you're watching this. If it's recording and you're catching it later, we're going to do these on a regular basis. So hopefully you'll have the chance to join us, and hopefully I will do a better job of letting people know when these live programs are coming out. So anyway, totally cool. Glad you're here. Greetings from Pinehurst, North Carolina, where it is a kind of, I don't know, cloudy day, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain. Got my golf gear on. My buddies and I were going to go out and try to play. We play this wonderful game called chip golf, where you exchange chips back and forth, and at the end of the round, you can earn 75 cents if you're super lucky. But anyway, hey, look, you didn't tune in to see me. You wanted to hopefully hear some stuff about marketing to the affluent, because that's what I do, and that's all I've been doing for about 30 years. So, one of the things that I have come to the conclusion about, and, keep in mind, this is non-scientific, but it is based on working with just a lot of very, very wealthy clients, and, people that want to get them as clients. And what I've learned is that, of course, the wealthy are a tribe, and they are different. So, if you're going to market to the wealthy, you really have to, maybe it isn't your entire business, but you definitely need to set up a marketing campaign that sends the message to them that you are focusing specifically on them, because they are a unique group with their own unique foibles and challenges and concerns and expectations, and the more you understand that, then the more you can create really compelling uh, marketing messages that will get their attention, and will get them to do business with you. And it doesn't really matter that much if you're a financial advisor, or you're doing jet leasing, or you run an art gallery, or you're a concierge medical practice. Uh, the affluent will respond to a kind of a commonality of messages. But let's fly the plane a little bit higher today, and let's talk about the three groups of people that the affluent will do business with, because what our goal is to become a member of one or more of those three groups. And what I've discovered is that the affluent will do business with people they know, people that are referred to them by people they know, or people that they perceive as being recognized experts in their field. So, uh, people they know. Well, this is, you may have grown up in an affluent environment, went to prep school, went to the right colleges, live in the right neighborhoods, and that is, of course, you've got a big advantage. But most people don't have that. So the question becomes, how do you become known? And one of the things, of course, is, and I'm not telling you anything you probably don't know already, but it's going to the places where they are, because getting known is a little bit. You don't have to get known in the sense of that you're lifelong buddies, and you're hanging out and sharing secrets. When I say getting known, what I mean is that they've seen you. You're around. You may be on the periphery, but you're somebody that, yeah, they recognize. So that's the reason why consistently, and I can't emphasize this word enough, consistently going to those art gallery openings, and the opera, and the symphony, and the exotic car club, all those things that people, people who are affluent congregate at, going to those on a consistent basis, that's what gets you known, because they do start to recognize you. They start to think, okay, you're now a member of that particular tribe. Now, look, this is a long game. You don't show up one time and all of a sudden expect to develop a great number of connections that are going to, do business with you. You've really got to devote a certain period of time to this. I lived in Atlanta for 30 years. There was what was called the season, and it was all the charity events, the Heart Association, Cancer Association, the, fill in the blank disease association, and they all have gala balls. And I had a number of clients, and they actually tended to be mostly in financial services, although I don't think that's necessarily key. But they went to these things, and they told me pretty consistently that they didn't get squat the first two or three times they went, but after about the fourth or fifth time, people started to recognize them. People were a little bit more open to engaging them in conversation. And certainly by the time the second season rolled around, now they would become actually a part of the tribe. They became people that, they were known. So this can be done. It doesn't cost you any money aside from the ticket. It does require the ability to actually show up. But even more importantly, it requires the ability not to get discouraged. And that's the real key for so much in marketing. Because we'll try something, we'll get all excited about something, and if it doesn't immediately produce results, then we tend to give up. And that's the reason why most of the stuff doesn't work. That's the reason why most people aren't successful. So, if you do it, make a commitment that you're going to stick with it for a defined period of time. I'm not saying it's something you got to do forever, but, realistically, make a commitment, do it for a season, do it for, 6 months, because it is going to take time for the wealthy and the affluent to get comfortable with you. I mean, good Lord. I mean, common sense would dictate this, and you know this. They get pitched all the time. And because they got money, they're very, very skeptical. And they've got barriers put up, both in terms of gatekeepers, but also in terms of just their own attitude to, keep people who just want to sell them stuff away. So you got to become this familiar face, but it isn't hard. As long as you are, as long as you make the commitment, as long as you show up to the right places, as long as you don't sit in the corner and not talk to anybody. There's nothing magical about this. And simply, as Woody Allen says, 80% of success in life is simply showing up. That's really, really true. So. That makes a lot of sense if, of course, your market is, local to you. And, you're living in Chicago, Miami, New York, Los Angeles, pick a big city, that's going to, make a lot of sense. But, and here's a but, it's much more difficult to pull off if your clients are outside of your local area. So case in point, I live here in Pinehurst, North Carolina. I don't know if Pinehurst means anything to you. It's a golf resort. We host the U.S. Open. It's big time golf. We're the nation's largest country club with soon to be 10 courses. This is big time country club stuff, but it's a small town, 15,000 people. Now there's wealthy people here, no doubt, but when you're dealing with a base of 15,000 people, there's not a huge number. So for some people who want affluent clients, just doing a local, getting connected with the wealthy isn't going to be enough. And that brings me to number 3 on the list, which is the rich do business with those that they perceive as recognized experts. I'll talk about, the referrals from those they know at another time, because I don't want this thing to, go on forever. And quite frankly, I'm going to go play golf. But anyway, Recognized expert. That is so important. Becoming the recognized expert, in your field. So, how do we go about doing it? And the answer is content. Now, there's all sorts of different kinds of content. There's content like this, where you're connecting with people on social media. And I was late to the ball game in terms of social media. I was somebody that didn't think it was going to be necessary. Obviously, I'm wrong. Obviously, it's something that has to be a part of your marketing outreach. But being on social just for the sake of being on social isn't what I'm talking about. What I'm really talking about is becoming that recognized expert, which is that you need to provide value. You need to have people, watch your videos, read your articles, read your blog, read your book, and say, hey, that was helpful. That is really somebody that knows their stuff, because look, you can be, very, very knowledgeable, but if the proverbial light is held under the proverbial bushel, it's not going to do you much good. So you've got to get the word out. You've got to become that recognized expert in your field. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. Now, I refer to this as being an inch wide and a mile deep. Within the world of marketing to the affluent, I'm one of the go-to people. I'm one of the, handful of people that really, really knows their stuff and is recognized as being an expert in this. Now, you get me outside of affluent marketing, nobody knows who I am, but that's totally cool because my market is very, very defined. Now, the more that your market is defined, the easier it is going to be for you to become that recognized expert. Now, let's use an example. Excuse me. So let's say you're a financial advisor. Well, gee, congratulations, you're one of a gazillion real number of financial advisors. So how do you become that expert? Well, one way would be obviously to, write a best-selling book. Okay, well, exactly how do we go about doing that? Well, can you do it? Sure you can. I've done it twice. But, it ain't easy. And it's a lot of work. And it's really tough to be a nationally recognized expert. But if you said, okay, I'm a financial expert and I focus on women, that's a lot easier. I'm a financial advisor and I focus on boomers. Again, a little bit easier. I'm a financial advisor and I focus on the Hispanic market. Again, a little bit easier. So the more that you have a niche or niches, then the more you can have your content speak directly to that niche, and the more you can be one of the recognized experts. So, of course, the affluent market breaks down into all sorts of different subsets. There's people that were born wealthy. There are people that have had a liquidity event and all of a sudden have, got a lot of money. There are boomers. There are millennials. There are females. There are all sorts of ethnic groups. And the more that you focus on them, then you can target a campaign focused on content that will get you that nationally recognized expert, or that recognized expert status that you want. So now, how do you go about doing that? Well, we'll talk about that, in more detail. Matter of fact, if you have a curiosity about that right now, head over to gentlerainmarketing.com and go to the blogs, and there's a number of videos and articles about that particular topic. But I will, before I end this particular topic, I will tell you the one thing that has worked for me, and I think it would work well for you if you really want to become that national expert or that well-known expert. I don't know, keep saying national expert, because that's probably not going to happen. But you can become very well known to your particular niche if you write a book. I don't know what it is about books. It's crazy because, who's reading books nowadays? I mean, I guess a lot of people are, but somehow being a published author of a book, not a PDF, but a actual bona fide book gives you an awful lot of credibility and status and recognized expert points, for lack of a better term. Now, the great thing about it is writing a book could not be easier than it is today. I mean, back when I started, I was a syndicated newspaper columnist, did some work for the Wall Street Journal, put together a whole bunch of my articles, and I sent them to McGraw-Hill. And I said, hey, would this make an interesting book? And they wrote back and said, no, not particularly, but we like your writing style, and we're looking for an author to assign to this particular book title. Would you be interested? Yeah, that doesn't happen today. I mean, there's so many gatekeepers. You got to be repped by an agent. It's tough. But today, you have the option of getting a bona fide book published through Amazon's KDP program. And I mean, it's totally awesome. I mean, most of the books today are sold on Amazon. Most of them are sold online. Amazon will produce your book both in terms of paperback as well as Kindle. But once you are a published author, and then if you do the stuff to get your book well known and ideally number one in a specific category, I tell you, the level of recognized expert points you get far exceeds anything else. I don't quite know why that is, but it is. So that is one thing I'd be thinking about doing. The easiest way to do it, if you don't want to go to artificial intelligence and have them write it for you, which that day is probably coming pretty soon. But the easiest way to do it is to write yourself a blog or record a blog on a regular basis, get that transcribed, hire an editor on Upwork and have them produce a manuscript for you, and you can then tweak it, and you've got yourself a book pretty quickly. But I would be seriously thinking about writing a book. Anyway, I gotta head on out. I gotta practice my swing. I want to make some money today playing chip golf. Let me leave you with one thing. Speaking of books, my 9th book, The Affluent Marketing Blueprint, confidently selling to billionaires and millionaires, is about to come out in, I think it's 3 weeks. So when I release a book, what I do is I offer a certain number of copies for free. All you got to do is, help me out with the, postage and handling. And this is a real book. This is, not just some, lame ass PDF. It's an actual book. And I send it out to a small group of people for free. Now, why do I do that? Well, primarily the reason is that I'm hoping, and there's no obligation, but I'm hoping that if you're one of the people who gets the free book, you'll, of course, not only read it, which you should, but you'll be kind enough to put a review on Amazon. And that's, of course, what drives book sales. So I do this, it obviously costs me money, so I can't, as they say in the info commercials, I can't be doing this all day. But there is a button, I think, somewhere on this page that you can click to get on the early bird list. If not, the URL is really pretty simple. It's affluentmarketingfreebook.com. So that's that. If you go to that page, you can sign up, get on the early bird list, and then when the book comes out, I'll give you a heads up, and you can let me know if you still want it. In which case, then I'll ship it over to you, and you'll hopefully, I think you're going to really enjoy it. I'm really, really proud of it. The first readers have said that they found it really, really helpful. So hopefully you will too. So take advantage of that if you think it would be helpful. And if nothing else, it's a great model for how you might want to produce your own book. So that's all good stuff. So with that, I am going to I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much, those of you who are watching this live. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, those of you who are watching this recorded. And if you want a copy of, if you want to get on the early bird list for the book, go ahead and click the link, and that would be much appreciated. So with that, wish me luck winning, quarters. Hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.